Hello, folks. Welcome to FloridaAutoDealerTraining.com. I have actually logged into one of the courses that we offer. We're very excited to bring this course to you. It took us just over a year to create it, and we do a lot of training for pre-licensing student and continuing education students throughout the country. And one of the issues that we saw many people making mistakes in is buying cars. No one teaches you how to go to an auction and buy cars, and that's where this course comes into play. So we created this course. It's about 5 hours long, and I'm going to demonstrate some of the lessons and actually watch you take one of the lessons, and you'll be able to enjoy that for a little while to see exactly how we train. Once you log in using your username and password, you'll see there are 5 lessons. One of them is the introduction and definitions. We kind of teach you what we have found that you need to know when you walk into an auction, the green lights, the red lights, all the different types of signage and things that you need to know what they are when they come on and a particular car rolls up. And also the signage, what everything means is very, very important that you understand what's happening at an auction. It's a very fast pace, and you need to know what you're doing. Lesson number 2 is the OBD scanner operation. Once we find a car that we're interested in, we'll plug in the scanner. We'll determine if their check engine light is on, whether the mileage matches what's on the screen in the dashboard, and whether any check engine lights or codes have been cleared by the person bringing or the company bringing the car to the auction to keep you from seeing that check engine light. But most of us get burned in the beginning, and this is why we created this course, to teach you how not to get burned and to inspect the cars properly. Lesson number 3 is how to register at the auction, inspecting the vehicles using the scanners and other techniques that we use so we don't get burned when we pull out of the auction, and also bidding on the car, how to determine the best bid price for the car. That's very, very important, because the power that you have is in the buying, not in the selling. And also closing professional advice from people that have been in the business for 30 years, and that's really important. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a glimpse of how this course works and how you can take it and learn how not to get burned at an auction by buying the correct cars for you. So let's click on registering, inspecting, and bidding on a car. Let's just take a look at that lesson. I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes, and then I'll come back in and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But let's watch this lesson.
I'm the Assistant General Manager at Oakwoods Area Auto Auction, and I want to welcome you to the process of how to purchase a car at auction.
Okay, so here we are. We've arrived at the auction. What's the first step as far as purchasing the car? Well, most likely we're going to have had you guys already pre-register. Pre-registering means meeting with the auction ahead of time and getting all the paperwork that they require in order for you to purchase vehicles. Once we arrive at the auction, we'll actually step up to the window. This pretty much goes for most auction houses. So we'll walk in and we'll actually check in. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Great. Well, hey, listen, we're here to register.
Alrighty.
So
Thank you.
So what will happen is they'll basically register you in, go ahead and take your information. They're going to give you the badge, and they're going to go ahead and give you a run list of what's going on today, along with a card that shows which vehicles you're going to be purchasing. You know exactly which vehicles we're going to be looking at. You've done your homework, as we talked about, so you have the pre-list of the vehicles that are being run today. This is actually the final list that you'll have today, so you can see if any of them have changed or if new vehicles have come in. So we're going to be looking at this and comparing this to the list that we took last night when we looked at the initial runs, and be able to go check the vehicles that we've checked out outside on the lot. We're so glad that you joined us today. We're here at Oakwood Auto Auction in beautiful Oakwood, Georgia, to educate you a little bit on what to do when you're going to an auction to buy a car. We're glad you decided to join us and learn a little bit more. I've actually had a lot of experience, just to let you know I'm not just someone talking to the camera. I was going to auctions 30 years ago, so I've seen the auction industry change over the years, and we've always felt that there's a place for this particular video, especially for you new dealers that are first coming to learn about auto auctions. And you've all heard the stories. Some of them are great, some of them are horror. And we're going to try and keep that horror to a minimum. You can get burned at an auction. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to know what you pay for. And we're going to actually talk to some live auctioneers today about their experiences with the auction. We want to thank again Oakwood for hosting us. As you can see, it's a great location. We love the fact that this particular auction does everything on site.
As you can see, these lessons are very, very informative, and I'm actually going to just skip a few of these slides because we're discussing how to look at these cars and how to look at the run sheets and determine which cars that you may or may not want to bid on. Actually, and we discussed how to use the OBD2 scanner, as you can see on the slide on the right, which is extremely, extremely important that you learn how to use these scanners. Otherwise, you're gonna get yourself really in a big fix when you go to the auctions. So we have an in-depth discussion on how to use these in one of the other lessons. And as you can see, I'm just kind of scrolling forward here. So let's pick back up with the lesson.
I just want to ask you guys, can you smell that? That's the smell of money. We're outside. We're going to be actually looking at some vehicles. If you look around me, I like this particular auction, and I encourage you to look for auctions like this that allow you to drive the vehicles around. It gives you a good sense of feeling. As a matter of fact, you have to stay out of the main lane here because you will get run over. There's lots of vehicles being driven. Dealers are starting to come in to go ahead and check out the cars. I encourage you to get here a few hours early. In this particular auction, you can get ahead of 4 hours. You can get out here and really understand what they have to offer. Again, let's go find those cars. One of the things that I always notice and that's really important is that you pay attention to the environment as you're at the auction. As I told you guys before, I come dressed like this. This is the way you need to come dressed to the auction. I could be here in a suit and tie or a really nice polo shirt, but I'm going to be climbing under cars. I'm going to be looking under the hood. I'm going to be getting my hands dirty. So make sure you come dressed appropriately. The second thing is be listening to your environment. That's one of the things that you learn early on. You can hear particular vehicles going by and you can hear engine sounds right away. While we were walking across to look at this vehicle, we actually heard one, the engine was knocking. So those are the things I'm trying to help you guys avoid. I've made my share of mistakes over the years. I've had head gaskets that were bad and blown because I didn't take the time to look. I got excited when I got to the auction, and in I come to buy a car, not hearing it. It's very loud in the auction. If you're buying a car when it's coming across the block, you're in trouble. Make sure you get there early. Make sure you check it out so that you're not buying that headache. We're coming over here to a mid-year BMW. It's a 2007. If you look on the windshield, this is actually how the cars are marked for the auction. It tells you the year. It'll tell you the mileage, and some of them, if it doesn't have the mileage on here, we're going to try and find an example of this. It may say TMU, which is true mileage unknown. A lot of times what you'll find at the auctions when you go to buy a car is that, especially here in Georgia, they will mark these cars as exempt even if they know what true mileage is. It just takes the responsibility off of the auction and off of the former owner. What does exempt mean? Well, that basically means that they're not certifying the miles that are on the vehicle, and any title going forward in the state of Georgia, if it has a TMU or an exempt marking on the title, means that you're not going to be able to put the true mileage on the vehicle. So you're going to want to check.
All right, as you can see, this is a very in-depth video, and we filmed this in video, so we in Georgia, so we're using Georgia as an example here. And basically, we're going to take you step by step through inspecting a car, actually using the OBD2 scanner, pulling up the codes, how to determine what they're worth, and he's getting ready to put the scanner in. So I'll let this run for a minute or two, and then I'll get right back with you. I think this is important for you to see.
Two auto scanners, and an auto scanner basically reads the computer in the vehicle. Before I had this, you're flying blind. If there is a service engine soon light, a check engine light as they're commonly called, on the vehicle, if you don't have one of these, you don't know what it's doing, and it can be very costly. You can end up with head gasket issues if it's throwing misfire codes and things like that. So make sure you have this and your trusty cell phone on you so that you can Google what the codes mean if it's not showing up exactly on this. Now, in different vehicles, the OBD2 port, the thing that this plugs into, usually down here in this area somewhere. And BMWs, they actually put them right on the side post. A lot of the Chevrolets and things, they'll put them here or they'll put them over here. You're going to take this and you're going to plug it in. And it's going to come on. Now, if you plug it in and it does not come on, do not stay with this car, move on, because usually what that means is someone has pulled the fuse that goes to the OBD2 port because they have something to hide. So we've gone ahead and we've done it, and you can see where my particular scanner comes up and it says read codes, erase codes, MIL status, and IM monitors, etc. You're going to be reading codes, and the problem is people that have scanners and dealers that are selling their car at auction sometimes can bypass the code by erasing the code and sending. They can bypass this code and hit erase and erase it so that when it goes through the line, there might not be a check engine light on. So if you don't have one of these, you might see a car come through the lot that doesn't have a check engine light, but it does have pending codes in it. With this particular unit, any kind of scanner that you purchase, make sure it has this capability. Make sure it can show pending codes. So let's go ahead and turn the car to the on position and look and see if this car has codes. Or the car to accessory, so that the radio.
All right, folks. Well, I guess you get an idea of how our online training works. It is absolutely incredible. We've spent a lot of time preparing this for you. You can actually register for this auto auction training class at 2 of our websites. One of them is the usedautodealertraining.com. Very simple. How simple is that? usedautodealertraining.com. And you will see numerous classes in there that you can take alongside of this one. The other site is FloridaAutoDealerTraining.com. FloridaAutoDealerTraining.com. You can click on the auto auction training and you can take this entire training course, which is absolutely incredible. You learn so much, and I certainly hope that you enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Paul Stephen, and we are dealer instructors, and we're offering this to you. And we hope that you take advantage of it and come back and see us for additional training. Thank you, and have a great day.